50-for-1 stock split, guys. Holy crap. Think about that, man. So we're going to break down Chipotle's 50-for-1 stock split, which we just got news of this yesterday. We're going to break that down in this video. And of course, we're going to cover some other stocks that I'm looking at, the overall stock market, and what's going on in general here over the next couple of days, which I'm sure you guys know there's a lot going on in these markets, guys. So let's dive into it. If you guys find value, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Get your free stocks from Moomoo. Those are linked down below, up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. And let's dive right into the video. So we have Celsius's chart pulled up here, which has nothing to do with what I'm about to talk about, guys. So let me actually get that chart off. But let me pull up Chipotle's chart, which I do want to get into. And by the way, we have the Fed meeting here fairly soon after I'm actually recording this video. It's currently about 1:40 p.m. So we have the Fed meeting here coming up, which I'll make another video on that. And we do have the indexes pretty much at break even in anticipation for that. So keep that in mind, as again, it's about 1:40 p.m. And we have Chipotle stock up over 3% right now. But at one point earlier in the day, it was up over $3,000 per share, which is an all-time high for this stock. So Chipotle Mexican Grill, guys, 50-for-1 stock split, right? The board officially approved a 50-for-1 stock split, and the shareholders get to vote on it on the 6th of June. And I believe if it does officially go through, the shares will be split adjusted, trading split adjusted, I believe later in June. So we do have a couple of months here, 2-3 months. But still, man, 50-for-1 stock split, right? So essentially what this is it's going to cut Chipotle stock by 50. Well, divide it. It's going to divide Chipotle stock price by 50 and multiply the outstanding shares by 50, right? So I think right now I was reading they have 27.4 million outstanding shares. So you would multiply that by 50, boom, whatever that number ends up being. Then again, they divide the share price. Let's say hypothetically, it was $3,000. Divide that by 50 and you would have $60 per share, right? So what we're looking at is a stock price that now is at $3,000. So you're like, oh man, it's expensive, I can't afford it. But then it would go to 50 or 60 bucks per share, which on paper looks a lot cheaper, even though the value is the same. You guys probably know that, but the value of the company, that is, but on paper it looks cheaper and you're more enticed to buy it, right? That's the reality of the matter. If a stock's at 3,000, you're looking at it, you're like, oh man, that's a little too expensive. I'm not touching that. Dollar-wise, it's expensive, not in terms of the value of the company. It's a complete different, that's completely different, right? But you're looking at 3,000, you're like, oh, it's expensive. 50, it looks cheaper, right? So that's why they're doing it here, 50-for-1 stock split, which is, yeah, that is monstrous, guys. And they need it. I mean, look, $3,000 per share. We had Google a couple of years ago at $3,000 per share. You guys, you probably remember that. Not 3,000 bucks per share. I forget exactly what Google got up to. But I mean, look, if I pull this 3-year chart up, you can see it looks like they did their split. What was it? A 20-for-1 split? Yeah, 20-for-1 split on the 18th of July. That was in 2022. So almost 2 years ago, Google did a split. Looks like they got down to 105. Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, before that, they must have been 2,000 bucks per share. So it looks like the all-time high on Google is 150, which before the split would put it at $3,000 per share. So yeah, Google was at $3,000 per share, which again on paper is just, it looks way too much. So they did the split. So if you see a company that is established, right, they're very profitable, they're growing like Chipotle is, like Google is, and their stock's trading at thousands of dollars per share, they're going to do a stock split. That's the reality. At some point, they're going to do a stock split, unless you're Warren Buffett with Berkshire, which their stock is like $400,000 per share. They haven't done a stock split, right, guys? But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. The next one's probably NVIDIA in all actuality, which you guys probably have heard of, right? Nvidia's now what, $900 per share? What's it at these days? 885. If this goes over 1,000 to 1,500, who knows? Maybe where it goes from there. A lot of people are like, yeah, that's going to be one that's going to get a stock split as well. So this is common. It's not like, it's uncommon. It's common, but the reality is, guys, it doesn't change the value of the company. Chipotle is still going to be the same. The value is still going to be the same. All it is share manipulation, essentially, right? So I'm watching CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill, very closely here as we're breaking out to all-time highs on this news. And I'm watching Disney stock as well. Let me pull this up and show you. We have an ascending triangle on Disney stock here on the 4-hour chart. We had a clear breakout, obviously, post-earnings. Even heading into earnings, we were breaking out. And now we can see we have a bit of resistance at about 114-ish, 115. But we are making higher lows into that resistance. And now it seems like we're trying and we're starting to break out. Earlier today, Disney was at $116 per share roughly. Now we're pulling back a bit intraday here in real time. So we'll see if we do end up recovering or rebounding rather, and continuing the breakout here and the ascending triangle playing out. We'll see. We'll see if it continues to play out. But overall, man, Disney looks pretty bullish here, and it looks like it could be breaking out in the short term. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And by the way, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you guys want to, that is, make sure to do that. We're trying to get the 50,000 subs this year. I appreciate you all for tuning in, as always. And yeah, let me see some other stocks here. What else is moving? So we have DWAC moving, which is Digital World Acquisition Corp. You guys probably know this is the SPAC that's taking Truth Social public. Whenever that does end up happening, who knows when that's going to happen. But yeah, that's running up. I think Trump's winning a bunch of states right now. There's a lot of obviously hype around the presidential campaign, the debates, obviously the election, which I'm not a politics channel. We're not going to get into that in this video, but that's kind of what's spurring a lot of this volume, obviously, in this SPAC, where it saw, you guys probably remember, a massive move in the middle of January. It went from $18 to $62, pulled back to $33, doubled up pretty much back to $60, pulled down to about 35 a couple of days ago, actually all the way down to 32, and now we're recovering over 40 into the mid 40s. So who knows, man? This is one that's obviously very volatile, very, very risky, but it keeps moving, or at least it is now to the upside, 19%. So we'll see how that plays out. Looks like Coinbase is also making a decent move, up 4%. Looks like we're trying to break back over that 50 SMA, which is at about 240, 245. If that does break, maybe a move towards 275 could be next. Let me actually set my alert at $242 per share. Mark is at or above. There we go. So that's Coinbase. Let me see what else here is moving. ARM Holdings. All right. Tesla's trying to dig itself out of the 170s, although clearly we're still in a downtrend, and now we're wrestling the 50 moving average on this 4-hour chart. And mind you, we're still under the lows from a couple of weeks ago and last month, so keep that in mind. So what are your thoughts? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments on Chipotle's 50-for-1 stock split, the markets, the Fed, all that good stuff. Let me know down below. Hit the like button. And guys, don't forget to get up to 15 stocks for Moomoo, each up to $2,000. Just use that link down below, or go to stocksurfest.com/Moomoo, or check out the QR code right here. Open up your account, fund it with at least $100. You get 5 stocks, and fund it with at least $1,000. You get 10 more stocks, totaling 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. And there's a QR code right here as well. It's a no-brainer, guys. Get on it. The clock's ticking. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.